future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
Jamel, celebrity vocal coach right here, and I am a part of Give It Life.
And ratchet, we
And
bringing
real extra ratchet, raunchy.
That'll be everywhere, like.
Those shops is upstairs, but we down here by our awesome, man.
This nigga got hit to walk off the set.
We leave that up to Vito.
They gon' wonder how we still here, still on top. We used to build here, top 5 punching the clock. Running the field here, it feels good coming around. After they hated, but now we run the town till we stuck in a wheelchair. We all share visions of hope and tell stories with dreams. We get the mixing like we giving you dope. And now we in position weekly, all access, extremities, ENT play on our axis. Politics, top 40, building community from the X, applying that pressure, promoting unity. Royalty, education, love and support, dope music, enough to feed souls, food for thought. This type of loyalty cannot be bought from a city where being real just cannot be taught. Listen in and you just might learn with Mr. You already know. Welcome to the return.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the X-Tremitiez ENT show. I'm your host, DAVON Franklin. And Jamie Sanders and Jose Rivera will be with us very shortly. We're about to begin this segment right now with a quick little music segment. We're going to have a nice little fire joint that we're going to start y'all out with right now. You know, this young lady's record, we've been really feeling this, in the last couple of weeks. This is Angel Christina, Don't Mind Me, on the X-Tremitiez ENT show on ISS Radio. Let's go.
50 different things that'll go through my thoughts at one time. Randomly blur out one thing, I'm about to lose my mind. Sometimes I think I might be, I wonder a lot. I wonder if you like me. Is my outfit popping? I need to go shopping. Visa card swiping. 50 different texts being sent in 10 different directions. My BFF got the T on my man and he need correction. What's up with my connection? Bye-bye. This can't be my life, I can't connect to Wi-Fi. Talking to myself is selfish. I wasn't talking to you, I was thinking out loud. I do that sometimes, don't mind me. I said I wasn't talking to you, I was thinking out loud. I do that sometimes, don't mind me, no. You're always on my mind, but a day will go by before I reply. Don't know why, but please don't blame my heart. Blame it on my mind. 'Cause I typed your message in, but I didn't hit send. My a terrible friend, that's rhetorical. You're adorable, so please don't be alone. You notice that I'm all alone. Conversation going on. I promise ain't nothing wrong with me. I was talking to my best, talking to myself. Oh, sometimes it's not. I wasn't talking to you, I was thinking out loud. I do that sometimes. Don't mind it, baby. I said I wasn't talking, oh yeah. Thinking out loud. I do that sometimes. Don't mind me. I said I wasn't talking to you, I was thinking out loud. I do that sometimes. Don't mind me, no, no, no.
Don't mind me on Extremities ENT show on iAccess Radio. Next, we're gonna do one for the steppers. You know, just a little bit with Bay Bright right here on Extremities ENT show, iAccess Radio. Let's go.
Yeah. Two-step for the steppers. Two-step for the steppers. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Babe, right.
There's something about the way you are that really drives me crazy, baby. You're a star. My diamond girl, my Lucy Pearl. Your good love got me tripping for you every day, girl. All I want is your love, baby, come on. Get a little closer. Let me hold you in my arms, girl. Lay here a while, baby, get cozy. Come and get closer. Get a little toasty inside of this warm embrace, girl. Just a little bit, just a little bit, baby. Just a little bit, just a little bit, girl. A little bit of your love, girl, is all I need. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. You know, a bit of your love is all I need, girl. I'm so glad you're in my life. You're my homie, lover, friend, and you're my wife. My ride or die, apple of my eye. You know when I'm with you, girl, your love is never too much. All I want is your love, baby, come on. Get a little closer. Let me hold you in my arms, girl. Lay here a while, baby, get cozy. Come and get closer. Get a little toasty. Let me make love to you, girl. I want you all night long. Just a little bit, just a little bit, baby. Just a little bit, just a little bit, girl. A little bit of your love, girl, is all I need. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. You know, a bit of your love is all I need. Break it down. Just a little bit. Just that I love you, girl. Just a little bit, baby. Just a little bit, just a little bit, girl. A little bit of your love, girl, is all I need. Just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. You know, a bit of your love is all I need, girl. Two-step for the steppers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That one felt real good. Had to loosen you up right quick. That was Bay Bright, just a little bit on the Extremities ENT show on iAccess Radio. Now we're about to get into our health is wealth segment. I know we've been missing that for a couple of weeks, but right now we got our main man in the building, Mr. JAIME Sanders, ready to speak to us on this very good, great topic. Let's go. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic. How you doing, my brother?
I'm maintaining, man. Trying to make it day by day. You already know, man.
That's what we're doing. Slow rolling, man, but we're making progress. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I just want to give a shout out to the family. You know, peace, blessings, and prosperity to everyone listening. You know, like the brother said, you know, we've been missing out. I've been missing you guys. So, you know, but I'm here. You know, we're here today, and it's a blessing. You know, so we want to share a couple of jewels. As always, we're not medical professionals. You know, this is for informational purposes only. You know, and educational purposes as well. Just to share with the family and gain some insights along our healthy track, our healthy journey, our journey to health. So we're going to jump right into the conversation. And today what we're going to talk about is hypertension versus hypertension. Again, that's hypotension versus hypertension.
Okay.
And let me just explain what each is first, and we're going to start there. Hypotension is what they consider low blood pressure, and hypertension is what they consider high blood pressure.
Okay.
Now, what's interesting about the two ailments, the two scenarios, is that when it relates to how they how your body develops these two situations, these two ailments that affect your body and affect a lot of people every day, are very similar. A lot of it is derived through negligence, in areas around health, and we had previous conversations about health and how, depending on, what your balance is and how it can lead to certain situations, certain health challenges, right? So, first we want to just explain how high blood pressure is measured. High blood pressure is measured by the amount of force that's generated by the blood pushing against your artery walls within your body, and how fast the blood actually travels through your body. So and it's measured. They have two measurement, parameters, or there's two areas that they use to measure high blood pressure or hypertension. One is systolic blood pressure, which is the stress placed on the artery walls, and also the beating of your heart and the pressure that the heart pushes the blood throughout your arteries and throughout your body. So that's the first one, is systolic blood pressure. So that's that's how much pressure is being actually placed on the arteries of your body through the blood circulating through your body, and then also how hard the heart is actually pumping this blood throughout your body. Right. The other area that they use as a measure is what they call is diastolic, and this is the level of pressure that's applied to your heart when your heart pauses. So in between the beats, the pressure, there's a measurement that they gauge. So when you go to your doctors and your medical professionals, CVS, and they take your blood pressure, these are the things that they're measuring. So they're measuring the systolic blood pressure, and they also measuring the diastolic blood pressure. In a general range, or the average range, in most cases, you're looking at 90/60 mmHg, between 90/60, and 120/80 mmHg, which mmHg is just means milligrams of mercury. Okay. So that's basically the low and the high. So when you're looking at 90/60, and below that, you're looking at hypotension or low blood pressure. When you're looking at 120/80, you're looking at hypertension or high blood pressure. Right. And again, the way that we develop these ailments or these challenges, are very similar, And let me just get into some symptoms, so that way, you can potentially identify. Ultimately, you want to see a medical professional, get the proper testing done, especially if you're feeling certain symptoms and, your body's feeling off balance, you want to get that test done, what I'm saying? So let's never forget that, what I mean? We want to self-gauge, but we always want to, refer and defer to the medical professionals that are trained, that have the proper equipment to make sure they catch a lot of these things so you can make the necessary adjustments.
True.
Okay. Some of the symptoms of low pressure may be dizziness, nausea, lightheadedness. Some people, in severe situations, there's fainting, blurred vision, fatigue in your body, your body's feeling real fatigue, sometimes it's hard to focus, and then sometimes the symptoms don't show. So this is why it's really important to get your regular checkups, see a medical professional at least once a year, so that and these are some of the things that when you go see a doctor that they test annually. So you want to make sure that you're getting up in there, you're seeing your doc, go see the doc and make sure that, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like we always say, health is wealth, you know what I'm saying? And we want to stay ahead of this, but on the flip side, hypertension, which is, again, high blood pressure, they call this the silent killer because a lot of times, the symptoms are not pronounced like they are with low blood pressure. A lot of times they don't show the same type of symptoms. So, you may not be able to identify it, like you would be able to identify the symptoms of low blood pressure. So again, we want to make sure we get that regular testing done and, and we stand on top of our health game,
Yes, sir.
So, like I said, those are some of the symptoms. And like I said, the symptoms that we mentioned are more so symptoms that are identified with low blood pressure or hypotension. And again, they could be exhibited in fatigue, lightheadedness, inability to focus, blurred in your vision. So when you're feeling these things and you're feeling, like a little uneasy, definitely, like I said, again, I recommend that you definitely go in and get checked out so that way you can get ahead of these things. Some of the, now we're going to talk about some of the causes, some of the things that, we engage in our regular life that can lead to, both scenarios. What I'm saying? First, we're going to, hit on hypertension, again, high blood pressure, and of course, obesity is a major factor with a lot of people that develop high blood pressure. So you want to stay on top of your weight gain. You want to make sure that you, getting regular exercise and, you eating an appropriate diet so that way you can keep things leveled out, And then another cause, of course, something that a lot of people are real familiar with, which is high blood pressure. Which is salt, which, is another, major contributor to high blood pressure. So, salt you ingest and, make sure that you monitoring the certain foods that you eat. And, because of course, things that we eat throughout the course of the day, may contain certain or different quantities of sodium. So you want to stay on top of your salt game. Another cause of high blood pressure, which is a lot of, a space that a lot of people or item that a lot of people are not in tune with, is low potassium. So a lot of people are not aware that low potassium can lead to, high blood pressure as well. And then, of course, like I spoke about earlier, lack of physical activity, and this could be just daily walking, getting out, getting your little nature walk, bike riding. But they recommend at least 90 minutes a day 90 minutes a week, of exercise, but that, like I said, that's at least, it's recommended that you do more. And of course, the more you do, to balance yourself out, the better. But ultimately, you don't want to over exercise either, because that can cause stress on your body and it can lead to other challenges. And something else that a lot of people indulge in, especially on the weekends, a lot of people like to go out and have their weekend drink, right. And alcohol is another major contributor to high blood pressure and, as well as other challenges within the body. So, I'm not saying that we can't get out there and mix it up a little bit, what I'm saying, tip a couple back, but, you want to regulate that, what I'm saying? You don't want to be excessive. And that really applies to any and everything, even exercise, you know what I mean? So you always want to focus on balance, and then another major contributor, which is, systemic throughout the nation and throughout the world, is tobacco use. So, we want to, curb that smoking cessation, what I'm saying? And, it's easier said than done in some cases, but I always recommend to people baby steps, what I'm saying? Take your time with it. If you could cut a little bit out here and you can cut a little bit out there, what I'm saying? You're doing a great job. What I'm saying? Don't beat yourself up, because that's going to cause you to get stressed out. Right. And again, stress also to, challenges in the area of high blood pressure and cause certain imbalances in your body. So, you want to just, take the positive steps, but be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much. You know what I mean? Like I said, just take it in stride. You know what I mean? Work at your pace. And that's really one of the keys, So what we just touched on are a lot of causes of high blood pressure or hypertension, as they call it. Now we're going to switch gears and we're going to jump back over to hypotension and some of the things that lead to hypotension or low blood pressure, low circulation within the blood, within the arteries. A lot of it is due to different types of medication, whether it be heart medication, pain medication, anti-anxiety, medications, antidepressant medication, and then also diuretics, like coffee is a diuretic, and so these are things that cause you to dehydrate, to expel fluids out of your body. So you want to definitely monitor your intake of diuretics. What's going on, Jose? Peace. You definitely you definitely want to monitor that, keep a cap on that. And the other another area that will definitely lead to low blood pressure is a lot of times we go through surgery or we having medical treatments and they administer certain types of medication during the process. And we mentioned a couple other types of medications. So you want to monitor your medication. If you're taking certain medications, you want to make sure you balance out with checkups with your doctor, so that way they can monitor your blood pressure levels, whether it be high or low. But like I said, a lot of times medications leads to your low blood pressure challenges, and a lot of something else that a lot of people are not in tune with. Just if you're sitting too much, you're standing too much, you have to, the key thing is movement, and keep everything circulating, so and when you're stationary, you have especially when you're sitting, or you're laying in certain positions that are restricting the blood flow, so you want to keep yourself reposition yourself as much as possible. When you sleep, you sleep. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just that's just a natural process that we all got to engage in. So that's just what it is, But other things that can lead to low blood pressure are serious infections, sudden losses of blood. If you get cut, you experience an injury. That can also lead to low blood pressure. You can have an allergic reaction to something in your environment, and that can trigger negative reaction in your blood cycle and cause you to develop low blood pressure. Other things like diabetes, pregnancy, and other heart problems also, because your heart is your engine when it relates to pumping, and circulating your blood throughout your body to all the arteries, including your brain. And this is again why when you have low blood pressure, it can lead to this dizziness, this lightheadedness, blurred vision and things like that. So, you want to definitely, like I said, pay attention if you know that you're in what they would call at-risk spaces, or you're a person at risk in any of these areas. You want to have regular checkups, go see your medical professional, so that way you can really get an accurate gauge, because, we can, estimate or guesstimate based on, we know our bodies, we know when our bodies are off. So, we can kind of say, well, I'm not feeling right. I think my blood pressure is low, or I'm feeling like, I'm a little jittery. I think my blood pressure is high. But again, when in doubt, check it out. You know what I mean? So, you want to definitely get that check in, with your medical professional, because actually, in a scenario of low blood pressure, your body can be so deficient, you can, in oxygen and nutrients, you can go into a state of shock. So it could be very, very dangerous. You know what I mean? And then even with, and of course, with, heart attacks, with high blood pressure, that can, of course, lead to, heart attacks. So, we want to definitely, so that, we are in tune with ourselves, keep a healthy diet. And, we always talk about, we've had a lot of conversation of different aspects of health, especially, keeping your body irrigated, and, keeping a certain balance in your diet, eating, a lot of fruits and vegetables, and not indulging too much in things that are going to cause an acidic environment within your temple, within your body. So again, alcohol, tobacco, things like that, coffee, other diuretics, we want to minimize these things as much as possible. We touched on, we identified, the actual challenge, and we distinguished the differences between the two. We touched on some of the symptoms and causes. So we're going to wrap it up with some of the things that we can do to prevent, offset, or reverse, the symptoms of hyper or hypotension. So again, and it's common sense stuff, like we just mentioned, make sure that you reducing your intake of meats and carbs, and increase your intake of fruits and vegetables, drink plenty of water. And we had a conversation about water. The kind of water that you drink is very important. You want to keep that pH above 7.0 on an alkaline scale. Anything below, again, 7.0 is considered acidic. You know what I mean? So you want to pay attention to your water, and possibly, if you can, get mineral water, because if we're constantly drinking a lot of water, the water flushes our body. This is why it's important to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, so that way we can replenish our bodies with the necessary nutrients and minerals that keeps us going. Like I expressed earlier, a lack of potassium, could lead to a lot of challenges in your body. So we definitely want to stay on top of that. Like I said, avoid smoking, and what's interesting, what side of the spectrum you look at, whether it's high blood pressure or low blood pressure, the remedies are very, very similar, because it's all about balance. You know what I mean? It's all about balance. And although, the derivatives can be slightly different, and we touched on that a little earlier, some of the things like, that could lead to low blood pressure, and some of the things that can lead to high blood pressure. The remedies are very, very similar. Again, you want to, slow down on the drinking, alcohol specifically. You want to increase your water intake. You want to get, a nice balance of exercise. Again, they recommend, at least 90 minutes a week, but that's the minimum. So, a lot of people say, well, I did 90 minutes, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And again, we all have different body types. All of our bodies react differently depending on, our metabolism, you know what I'm saying, and our genetic makeups. So, we want to basically do what fits. We got to stay in tune with our bodies. So, you don't want to overwork either. You want to burn yourself out, because a lot of people don't know too much exercise causes stress in your body too. So, you want to have a nice balance in that space, So, again, you want to reduce the amount of carbs you eat, because, that converts to sugar, and of course it causes a lot of challenges. A lot of people, like I see people in the office, or, in other workplaces, they're eating bagels, then they'll have the cake, and then they'll have a sandwich, and then they'll have this, and then they'll have rice with meat. And I say, and all these carbs throughout the course of the day, you're overloading your system. So you want to definitely, regulate that, and make sure you're conservative, not be excessive in overloading your system with these carbs, everything in moderation. I'm not saying now, don't eat any carbs. And if you do eat carbs, you want to try to stay on the healthy scale. You want to on the healthy side of things. There are healthy alternatives. You know what I mean? But that's another conversation. But you want to stay. And just to keep it basic, you want to stick to whole grains. they have alternative even breads that are made from whole grains, different types of grains. So whenever you can find that, it's better to supplement, the whole grain things that are, more on a whole grain side of things as opposed to just traditional white bread or, potato bread and, things like that, and if you can get fresh baked bread, that's almost better because it doesn't have all the preservatives and things like that, even when you go to the bakery, although they put their ingredients, they may put some sugar, they may put some salt and baking soda and things like that. They don't have all the preservatives that, when you go to a store, because they put this stuff in to preserve the shelf life. You know what I'm saying? And these things can, cause additional strain on the body, and again, you just want to, keep yourself active, get your exercise, keep a balanced diet. And most of all, you want to check in with the specialist. You want to make sure you're regularly seeing your doctor, make sure that, not just if you're feeling a little off, but, you make sure you're getting your annual in there, so that they can check these things out because they can, generally tell you if there's symptoms that are leading up to it. Sometimes they'll tell you that you're borderline, there's diabetic or whatever, but there's something else you want to be in tune with because again, diabetes can lead to low blood pressure, hypotension. So, that's it, family. That's the conversation for the day. I just want to provide you with those jewels and some insights, And like I said, one of the most important things is stay in tune with yourself. Don't abuse yourself. Just pace it. Just try to find that sweet spot. Don't beat yourself up too bad. Even if you feel like I'm overweight, I'm not exercising, take the baby steps. And, like I said, when in doubt, check it out. So, we want to make sure that, we on top of our game, taking care of our temple. And, as always, health is wealth. So we want to stay on our healthy step. And, and I'm here, along with the other brothers, Mr. Gonzalez and Mr. Franklin, holding it down, lifting up the light, and taking this journey with our brothers.
Who's Gonzalez?
What's that, brother?
Who's Gonzalez?
Oh, Rivera, myself.
You better get something in that system of yours. It sounds like you a little off right there, bro. What's going on? Health is wealth with Jamie. You already know each and every Wednesday, giving you the great information that you need. And as soon as they want Franklin, I just got to the station. I drove down here. I couldn't interrupt. I love the information. People have actually spoken to me about the segments that we have. Jamie's Health is Wealth, Davon's Picks of the Week. They're loving, the way that we provide the information, the format. And what we provide to the world is substance, right? Because we're not doing this as a hobby. We're doing this with a certain mission statement that we abide by, right? And that's community first. You and I always speak about this, right? Yes, right. And the reason why we incorporate this trilogy is because we each bring our specialty, right? And when we manifest, everything that we bring to the table, the world actually provides back something even better, and saying, "Listen, we're listening. We appreciate what you're giving us. Please continue." So all the information you provided on diet, exercise, meeting up with your providers, doing prevention. Your medical and mental health is something that people don't do on an annual basis. So you touch on all those things that are important, especially, to the water. People don't understand what alkaline is. I asked someone the other day, what type of water you drink? And they was like, oh, don't give me that smart water joke. And I was like, excuse me? He was like, yeah, because, I just drink, tap water. I was like, all right. And it was like, why? You have something against tap water? I was like, no. But from statistics, what is being said, New York is one of the safest water in the States, which I don't believe, because especially after what just happened recently, twice, and Ohio, you know, it's going down to Mississippi to New Orleans. You're gonna tell me that we're not affected? Okay. Anyway, but those are the things that we appreciate. You know what I'm saying? We like we said, we give the facts, we put our own opinion, but it's on factual matter, right? Because we're three variables that come together as one. And if anyone knows statistical matter, it's all about the trifecta, the three circles, how they overlap, or in mental health or in criminal justice. Whenever you go to college, they show you the three circles, right? And then how all three complement each other in order to maintain a balance. And that's what we do, maintain a balance. So
Right.
just want to give you a big shout out. We've missed you the past couple of weeks, and it's because you was adjusting, you know, making some great stuff there because you're working with the community. You're doing big things outside that people don't know yet. When you're ready and you're well established and set, you're gonna let them know, you know, and we're loving it. But you know, Health is Wealth is a big segment as a part of the show, and you know, always tune in each and every week to Jamie. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. Mr. Rivera.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna take a quick little segment, one cut break before we get into Mr. Rivera's political topics. We're gonna play that. What we gonna play? We're gonna play. Can we hear that cold spaghetti, please? Cold spaghetti. Cold spaghetti on Extremities ENT show on IXS Radio. Shout out to Gatekeeper. Shout out to Al Williams. Shout out to the Buju in the building. Last week was Al's birthday. This week is the Buju's birthday. Ari, stand up. All of y'all in the house. That's right. Shout out to Devon Franklin. Shout out to Jamie Sanders. Yeah, boy. You already know. Be right back.
No doubt.
With the plans I have to execute, I think I need to measure. I feel like chop you better food. Cause you're giving me endless move. The way you just take a body, it's your body. Watch your color picture. Me nobody has to know. Cause nobody has to know. Cause your booty just touch on me, you know, man. I got to spend one night for your bed with the way you call on be my wallet. I walk up for you in a Benz, and as you try to impress me with your settings, spaghetti, oh. Don't expect the expected. I'm a sexy spaghetti, oh. Kill me to wife in a gently. I'm trying to get in a your settings, oh. I spend the cash with the girls that so that your wine is expected. Oh, shame on me if I no go spray money. Wine feed dollar make you shake for G. I'm a pastor when it shake, but you're no making me lose it. Put it like sushi. Let me fed your cookie in a jacuzzi. Me too unruly. Me fire can't cool it. Oh, I see you looking like hotel, and I feel like your protein. Isabella just want showcase, not protein. She got and as you try to impress me with your settings, spaghetti, oh. Don't expect the expecting. I'm a sexy spaghetti, oh. Kill me to every gently. I'm trying to get in a higher settings, oh. I spend me cash for the girls that so that your wine is expected. Oh, I say, hey, do I love the way you go, bala bala. You make a man want to my hand, I can't complain, cause I body too soft like Kamala. I sugar body, give me diamond, I don't frustrate. See those small things, she just say Allah. Girl, you can make my name Canada, we go if you give a car. And if you do your body dada, I promise to give you dada, man, and you go fire. Cause if you give me to the money, not on fire. I know the fire, if I see waiting a lie. Anything more color, girl, you got me like a banana. Now you go somewhere else. You tried to impress me with your settings. Spaghetti, oh. Don't expect the expected. I'm a sexy spaghetti, oh. Kill me to my village gently. I'm trying to get in a your settings, oh. I spend me cash with the girls that so that your mind is expected, oh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Extremities ENT show. That was Code with Supergetio on IXS Radio. You already know we are back, and it's Davon Franklin, Jose Rivera on Extremities Podcast on our Access Radio 365 Live, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. That's right, we got the best all around. And if you want to see us on TV, make sure you got that Roku, that Fire Stick, and of course, take a bite out that apple, because it's all healthy for your brains. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is the best online radio show ever. If you want the best, just contact our Access Radio and see which platform you like to associate yourself with and donate if you want to be a part of the whole experience. On the weekends, you have the best with my family that's in-house right now, Behind Enemy Lines with Gatekeeper and Wiz. And of course, after today's show, you can follow up with my brother from another Joey B's and Nicole as they go on the road and let you see how they do it. Salsa con fuego each and every Sunday. Mm-hmm. That's right. So this week, we got some stuff, Davon.
Okay.
You know what happened in Tennessee, Nashville. My bourgeois is from Nashville, Tennessee, and it hit home for her because she knows the school that was, on the news this week. Turns out that this trans person murdered 6 people. 3 out of 6 were children.
Right.
It was at this school in Nashville. It's all over the news.
Yeah, yeah.
And just recently, video footage was released on Instagram and other social platforms showing body cam from the actual police officers who stormed the school and reacted within minutes. 12 to 15 minutes, the whole event was over. Now, they're criticizing an event that happened a year ago in Texas.
Okay.
You remember that? How long it took that the police allowed the person to just keep shooting over an hour before they intervened. The sheriff had to resign and all that. And the guy was running for like an office spot.
Right.
And that just broke him down. So these guys that reacted yesterday, I think it was 5 officers. They went in there like if they were playing some Call of Duty.
Right.
And they, on the video on Instagram, it shows, you hear the girl shooting, like out the window and shooting stuff, right? And they're going to it. These men were like, go to the fire. And the minute that you see them in the room, they aim at her, they tell her, put the gun down. She ain't listen. They just went Rambo on her.
Ooh.
All right? To the point that they're telling her to put the gun down when her legs are already in the back of her neck. She was twisted.
Wow.
Okay? But her nerves kept jerking because of the way they lit her up. So until they went all the way to her and they kicked it away, they kept saying, put the gun down.
Yeah. Ooh.
So what's going on, Wiz? Salute to you, my brother. That's just one of the many things that people are saying, because I was listening to John Leguizamo, who's now hosting This Week Daily Show. And, he has a big thing about trans people, LGBTQIA, and I don't want to say that he identifies with them because, he came out 2-1 Fool with Patrick Swayze and Wesley Snipes. So, you know what, dude? You do what you want. You got paid. Okay, you didn't sell your soul, even though you talk about people that sell their soul, but that's another segment for another day. So, since you're hosting the Daily Show, you went on and said some great stuff that I'm in support of, and so is the rest of the world, which is equal opportunity, because that's what we want, right?
Right.
But at the same time, we don't want the agenda being pushed onto children. Let's keep that on the table and realistic. Children are not supposed to be misled, all right? But when it comes to this situation that happened at Hannah, and he says how these radio show hosts and government officials go on to say they have an issue with trans people having rifles. They don't want trans people having rifles. Well, guess what? We don't want trans people having rifles either. We don't even want people that are not trans having rifles going around shooting up schools. So what are you saying? Yeah. Then there was some politician that went on Instagram and said, we're at our last wit when it comes to, gun control.
Congress cannot do anything anymore. And that upset a lot of people. And I understood why he said that, because anything else means to scrap the amendment. Right. And once you scrap that amendment, you know what's going to happen, a civil war. So I appreciate the way he was walking on eggshells on that topic. Now, to relate to another situation that's going on, my Buju gave me something that I said I'm going to play on the air today. So everyone, please indulge me on this audio from TikTok. And it breaks down how far back gender roles go. Did you know there were at one time up to 6 different genders? Huh? Okay. Courtesy of the Buju, Art Guru on Instagram. Check it out. Listen, tell us what you think. And this is great information that goes back thousands of years on gender roles. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Where did non-binary people come from? It all starts in Mesopotamia. When was that? 2000 BC. 2000 BC. This civilization was the earliest records of humanity. There are references to types of people who are neither male or female, and the records describe how God created these people, their roles in society, and words for different kinds of them. At the same time, let's skip over to ancient Egypt, shall we? Who also described 3 genders: male, female, and Sekhet. Let's spin the globe one more time, shall we? And we'll go to Southern Asia. Is this around the same sort of time? This is actually a little bit later. This was around 400 BC. There are the earliest records of the Hijra people. The Hijra consider themselves to be either male or female. As a whole entire civilization? Yeah, and they still exist, the Hijra people, although oppressed they are. Next, we have 7th century BC. These are my favorites, the Scythians, who were Eurasian nomadic horse riders. who apparently honored gender non-conforming people as priests and warriors. They apparently also invented the earliest known hormone therapy using licorice root. Wow, let's get me licorice root out. Pre-colonial Native Americans, let's spin that bloody globe again, shall we? Who historically recognized various kinds of genders that all fall under the umbrella of Two-Spirit, which just encompasses the different kinds of genders that they had in the communities that don't fit in the Western gender binary. Now, post-Christ, 1st century, the year 100, there are records stating that classical Judaism actually recognized 6 genders. I can't tell you more information about that because I don't know it. Anglo-Saxon, when did they start recognizing non-binary people? The roots of you and I, the British. Because in the 11th century, there was a word found called weapon rithestra, which meant woman with a weapon, which also people believed to be woman with a penis, and may have been a word used to describe queer, intersex, non-binary folk back in the 11th century. Wow. Britain. So it's not a new thing at all. It's ancient, baby. It goes as far back as time as we know. Where do non-binary people come?
So, for all you uneducated individuals in the world, we just gave you a refresher course. Stop being idiots, stop being racist, stop being stupid, and accept what life is come to. Everybody's got their own rights now. Equal opportunity. This is what you want, right? This is when you put people into certain types of positions of power and you educate others. Listen, we lost the fight, but you could continue the future, the next generation, and then the generation after you, and the generation after you. And you'll see after many generations, you'll see that one day we all will be able to. So stop crying. Do the same thing everybody else is doing. Okay? At one time, people that were Jewish, they were slaves. At one time, Egyptians were slaves. At one time, Spaniards were slaves, Africans were slaves, everybody was slaves, and they decided to be a part of a system that is working for a benefit. Because if you don't be a part of the problem, then get with the solution. It's your choice. Stop crying. Get into a position where you can make a change. That's what they did. Hey, listen, we all didn't wake up one day and become president of the United States or become a janitor. Somewhere in between, you're provided with the opportunity to make a choice on where you want to be in life and what you want to be and who you want to be. What you feel inside manifests itself eventually. What's in the dark comes to light. So, all you politicians now that want to fight against trans people, just remember at one time, You was the one that was advocating for them. And because if a person that's trans picks up a gun and shoots up a school, now you have a problem against trans people and rifles. How about regular people, as you identify them as, regular people? How about them having a problem with gun control? And then trans people having access because of the regular folk having that access. Come on, 2 and 2 ain't 5, brother. Divide that pie and see where the problem is, right in the middle. Starts with you, the foundation. We the people? You the person. At the end, we vote you into office. What are you going to do? Stop crying and make the right decision for all the people. Children don't deserve to die. There was no reason for a person that was suffering from some type of anger or mental illness or some type of bullying that later on decided 15 years later to go back to school and shoot up everything. That makes no sense. Where was the security guards? Where were the police? They got there quick and they took care of it, but I thought everywhere had a school cop. So, moving forward, before anybody decides to put a war on anybody and start blaming and pointing fingers, just always remember, when you point the finger, you always have a thumb looking back at you. So be conscious and mindful, and let's all live together and have a great life. Davon, that's my political view for the week. I usually give the weather and all that stuff, but, we got some guests in the house, so we're going to oblige the guests because it came all the way to the BX to do the thing. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take a quick short commercial break and let Davon Franklin,
Jose Rivera,
do his thing on his pick of the week with the artists as well. You already know. X-Tremitiez ENT podcast on our Access Radio. Let's go.
Let's go. We're gonna get into the next single right quick. Dante Bo, Hide Me on X-Tremitiez ENT show, our Access Radio. Let's go.
Under your shadow, under your wing, hide me, hide me, hide me, cover me. Alright, yeah. Even in the middle of the night, I know it's gonna be alright. You hide me, surrounded on every side, but my enemies won't survive. Under your shadow, hide me, hide me, hide me, hide me. Under your wing, hide me, hide me, hide me, hide me. Great defender, hide me, hide me, hide me, hide me. Fighting for me, hide me, hide me, hide me, hide me. Can't take my future or my family. Satan's a robber who wants everything. Yeah. Looking on the brighter side, I can't believe it's still alive. You hide me, I think it's gonna be alright. My enemies won't survive. Under your shadow, hide me, hide me. Yeah. Under your wing, hide me, hide me. Yeah. Break the fender, hide me, hide me, hide me, hide me. You're my everything. Hide me, hide me, hide me, hide me. You keep me safe, keep me safe, keep me safe, keep me safe, keeping me safe, keeping me safe, keeping me safe, keeping me safe. Vamos tu sombra, hide me, 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 hide me. Vamos tu sombra, hide me, 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 hide me.
the way I put it is that I'm a producer. I produce all genres, but to market myself, I come in as for house. So
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Extremities ENT show on iAccess Radio. We are here with the other day on
Extremities, man. What's going on? It's your boy the other day. Yo, thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You already know.
Shout out to Ivy. You already know.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Ivy Productions. Definitely. So, how we gonna start this interview up? Well, by you telling everybody where you from.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy the other day. I'm straight from Uptown Dykeman, right across the bridge, and we're here trying to bring the party, drop the bass on everybody,
Okay.
and bring house uptown and make that more of a sound that's more resonated up here versus it only being down in like Soho and Brooklyn and Queens. There's mad house heads up here, so why not bring it up here?
Wait, Davon. House music?
Yeah.
It's not the same house music from when we came up.
No, the joint that we played last week.
His joint is fire. I'm saying that. But I'm saying because I don't know if we don't want to misconstrue the audience.
Yeah.
They hear Drake come out with one song, all of a sudden they think he invented house music.
Yeah, it's like a form of dance music, yeah.
Okay. Speak about that.
All right, so basically, when you break it down to it, the umbrella is known as EDM, which is electronic dance music, which is music that's produced electronically.
Right.
Okay. In that one umbrella, you have house, you have techno, you have dubstep, you got EDM, which is like main stage house, which is like, the heavy, like everybody jump and shit like that. You got trance, you got side trance, you got all these different variations of house and techno that developed throughout the years alongside with hip hop and all that good stuff too.
Right. Yeah. Well, how long have you been producing the music though?
I think right now I'm going on 8 years.
Okay.
Going on 8 years. My boy, my co-host for the In the House podcast, Johnny Baboon, he's actually the one who took me to my first rave. No. And right there I had like this epiphany moment where time just slowed down and said, yo, I gotta do this shit.
I was just getting ready to ask you because like Jose said earlier, like house, like back in the day, what inspired you to get into house music? Like
it was like I was a rapper.
Okay.
I really gotta go back a little bit further now. When I was a kid, my cousins were the ones really raising me. Like my mom was always working, my pops was always working. So they was always the ones taking care of me.
Right.
They had friends that were DJs.
Okay.
So, being a baby, they used to let me fuck around on the shit. And,
Okay.
They let me, and I always had that fascination with the turntables.
Right.
So, fast forward a couple of years, I'm a teenager, I'm broke. Can't really afford turntables, so what's the next best thing to do? Become a rapper.
Okay.
I was all right. I'm not going to be like, yeah, I was fire. Nah.
No.
I was all right. I'm better now as a songwriter than a rapper. But, I quit rapping at like 21. I met up with my boy later that year. Like I met him for the first time. He was like, yo, you want to come to EDC? EDC is the Electric Daisy Carnival.
Okay.
Which is a festival they used to have in New York, but now they only have it out in Vegas and like sometimes in like Mexico.
Okay.
He took me there, and that's when I just had that moment. I was like, this is the shit I gotta do, yo.
So so I guess you would say you actually project a long future with house music. I mean, I can't speak against it because you see what's going on right now, and that's been going on for a good long ass time.
40 years.
40 years. Like,
that's why I'm saying. That's why. See, because there's like you said, it's different variations.
Yeah.
Whereas where I go down the Jersey Shore, you know what I'm saying? It's the 70s, 80s house, right? And then they mix it in with the disco. And then they create a different genre where electro being put in.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got the Italians, you got the Irish, and you got the Germans all at the Jersey Shore together. So, like you said, doom, 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 and then you hear that on another side.
Right.
And then I hear the hip hop influence in it. So as he's speaking it, I'm visualizing it like I went to Jersey Shore recently. And I was like, oh snap, that's all I saw. Right. It was if it was rap, it was the rap house.
Right.
Which I heard is something new too. What is rap house? Is it the same thing?
Rap, yeah, it's basically, it depends. It depends on the producer and how you produce it. Like, for instance, like if I were to do like what you're calling rap house, it would just be like something I would normally produce and then get like an artist that I know that actually has like variety of flows that can actually catch a house track. You feel me? There's not a lot of hip hop artists that want to do a transition or do a crossover type of genre thing because it might, I don't want to say they have to step out their comfort zone, but they have to step out their comfort zone.
So one great artist that comes to mind that kept the pop but more house culture, I would say, for many years was the guy from Florida, the Cuban kid. I had his name on the tip of my tongue. The bald-headed Cuban kid that he sings all the pop songs now. Pitbull. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me?
Music has definitely a lot of more of main stage type of influence, where it's like you could throw that on a festival, it's gonna work a crowd of like thousands of people.
Okay.
Because there's different variations. Like house, you're gonna want to do that. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like the difference between like house, like the one you grew up on, and the one I would play like at an underground rave versus like main stage and like shit I would play in a crowd of like thousands of people.
Right.
It's the energy.
Right.
Like when you're in a smaller crowd, you want a song, sounds that are more intimate, more trance-like to get you in the vibe. Well, when you're in a crowd, you need something that's gonna drive people.
So like, remember the Lamplight?
Yeah.
And think of going to a stadium in Europe.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Compare it like that.
Yeah.
More intimate versus 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the lights and.
And I tell everybody, if you got a friend that's into house music, go with them to a rave, go with them to a festival. You're gonna have a good time.
Yes, sir. Yes,
As
sir.
if they're not tripping.
No, go ahead and fucking trip. Yo, listen. Lasers on some shrooms is fire. I'll tell you that.
I knew it was coming.
So what can we expect from this upcoming project?
All right, so Raising Heartbreaks is really telling about a feeling that I had last year.
Okay.
At Izu, which is a festival they host at Randall Island every, I don't know if it's Memorial Day or Labor Day. The weekend, the holiday weekend in September, right before everything gets back to normal.
Right.
I had broken up with my ex from a pandemic.
Okay.
From the pandemic, we hadn't seen each other in mad long, so I hadn't really felt the sting of it yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm telling my boy, who's my co-host for the In the House podcast, that I hope I don't bump into her on the bus to Randall's Island. She's right there, and I'm like, damn. Wow. And she's there with her mom.
Yeah.
So I didn't, I'm not gonna be an asshole and be like, nah, I'm gonna ignore her. I'm gonna say hi, what's up? Everything's good. Tato. Yeah. I'm looking at him. I'm like, damn, bro, I got mad weed in my fucking bag, and I'm gonna have to put this in my nuts right in front of this lady that I respect. But I'm like, you're not my girl anymore. Fuck this. And went about my way. And then I'm like, all right, cool. I met up with my boy and his wife.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I was like, I saw her, shit is good. Let's go party.
Right.
Yeah, 5 minutes later, we bump back into her again. And of course, my best friend's wife is cool with her because she's my ex.
Wow.
So we stood there for like another 10, 15 minutes so that way they could chat and chop it up and catch up and whatever. And then I was kind of bummed out. And then she was just like, bro, just make an album out of it. And I was like, you're fucking right. And so basically, I took the feeling of that whole day and put it into like 8 solid tracks and put it out.
Okay. So when can we expect this release date from this project?
I'm a stoner, and this is my first real official EP, so it's coming out 4/20, baby.
Okay.
Make sure you catch that on every streaming platform, YouTube, wherever you can consume music is going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So hold up, B, hold on.
Good.
Para mi gente que son allá del otro lado, ya tú sabes, tenemos alguien aquí de tu, ya tú sabes, de tu patria.
Ya sabes, mi hermano.
Vamos a dejarlo saber cómo ellos te pueden encontrar tu música y qué ellos pueden sentir cuando ellos escuchan tu música.
Cuando ellos están escuchando mi música, tú vas a sentir como yo lo puedo decir, un fiebre de dolor, pero al mismo momento un pasión para bailar, para estar, tú sabes, to be happy and just to be up there and not to be held down by something saddening. Like, yeah, it was sad. I mean, her broke up, whatever. But at the end of the day, the experiences I had with her were great.
Right.
So you gotta learn something from everything. You feel me? It was a while since I seen her, so I didn't feel this thing, but I felt it then, and I just turned that feeling into something great.
Which that brings to the title of the track that we about to play, Blade to the Heart. I guess we could say that's one of them tracks.
Actually, I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. All the tracks in the entire EP was named by my boy's wife.
Your boy's wife?
Yeah. She just gave me the idea to do it. She's like, as long as I get to name the tracks, I'll be all right. I was like, I bet.
Okay.
She named all of them, and she's amazing with it. Shout out to you, Lils.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, let's get into that song right now. Blade to the Heart, right here by the other day on Extremities ENT show at iAccess Radio. Let's go.
All right, we already got a good question. And this is from an old school house DJ. All right, welcome back to the Extremities ENT podcast on iAccess Radio with DAVON Franklin,
Jose Rivera.
And that's right, we have the artist in the building, the producer, the person that just displayed that great sound. We have the first question from a person who's a DJ himself, house head himself from way back in the day, Mr. Edgar Vasquez. And his question is, I'm aware of house music, but can you characterize what type? Example, Latin house, tribal house, wave house, techno house, etc. Music is off the hook. He loves it.
Yo, good looking, my boy. I would say it's a mixture of deep house and tech house.
All right. There you go. And also, Edgar was a b-boy.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Let me find out you was windmilling and spinning on your head, boy.
Yeah, man. If you see that man, you would think he's just some old guy that's, retired, whatever. But nah, man, he was out there spinning with Speedy and popping, locking and all that. And he kept the house music alive when freestyle music and house meshed.
Ooh.
Which was pretty good because if you heard like Johnny or Cynthia with a house music
they got a couple of dope ass remixes of like Dream Girl and like Diamond Boy and all them old school joints. Like they got fire ass like
TKA and all of
they got some fire ass remixes. Like I spin them in my mixes all the time. Like you guys who's sitting right over there, when he's at the crib and he hears me playing just practicing, I'm mixing up all that old school shit.
That's what's up, and that encourages you to come out with a different sound of your own.
Actually, the way I came up with my sound was like I was trying to mimic like my favorite DJs at the time, but through like just like learning technique and learning production, I kind of like figured out what I like personally, and I just kept on with that. Okay. Like, and I always give this advice: always learn multiple genres of music if you're producing. That way, a lot of things could influence each other, and you could come up with something, fire. That way, is cool to the ear.
You just answered my next question right there, which was there any other type of genre of music that you inspired to dabble in sometime in the future?
In the future,
because this is what you're doing right now. It's fire. It's fire as is. But like we know, like producers like to,
eventually, like when things are like good and everything is flowing, and I'm able to like actually like sit down and just focus on my own company and all that good stuff. I definitely want to learn how to like be a composer and do like a whole set of my music in like orchestra.
Ooh, that is phenomenal. Okay. That is what I love to hear because you could that right there. You say that I think of Lincoln Jazz Center.
Yeah, something big like Radio City Music Hall. Right. Things of that nature. Something classy and just to like not. And I only want to do it like one real good time. Like, it's just one time just to fuck around. But
right.
That's one of my goals to eventually have like enough music in my catalog where I could actually have like a symphony do this and like actually be able to compose and lead it myself.
And I appreciate that because one of the hip hop artists, pioneers that loves to do that and was doing it from way back in the day when he was battling Nas was Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, always a live band behind him. The MTV days. On TV or even on Def Jam, he would come out, always had a live band. And they would ask him, why do you have the live band? It's like the sound, the energy that goes to the crowd is authentic. And the vibration they get back is only indication that they love. Like what he did with Linkin Park. Remember that whole
the Collision course? Fire.
Right?
That whole I think it was like 7, 8 songs. Right. Or was it 4? Something around there, but fire, all 4 of them, yeah.
Well, I'm loving what it is that you're doing. Where can we find your music at, man?
You can find it on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, wherever you consume music at. Just look up The Other Day, and I'll be right there for you.
No doubt.
Now, are you actively doing gigs, private gigs, or fundraisers, or anything like that? That if people wanted to have a different sound and they were interested in you, would you be interested in that, or would you be available for that? Like, what I'm trying to say is, what is your target audience? Because what we do here is we do a lot of community stuff, and then it trickles down to you getting, hired for other stuff.
No, well, I'm always down to like do something for the community. That's straight up the facts. But it also depends on the crowd of people that you're going to be performing for. Because I don't want to go in there and drop house music and everybody wants to listen to like dembow and reggaeton. I always want to cater to the crowd. I'm as the other day, the artist, of course, I want like a house scene, but the other day, the DJ, I do it for the crowd.
So they can expect a plethora of genres.
Yes.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. I don't try, like, as far as the artist goes, yeah, of course, I'm trying to get gigs to pursue my artistry, but as a DJ, I want to cater to the crowd because that's where the fun is. Just messing around on the ones and twos and having people groove to your shit is fire. And this is kind of goes back to a conversation that I had on my podcast on Sunday was where my boy was like, "Oh, Spotify is creating a virtual DJ for you," and I was like, "It's never gonna compare to a live DJ, never, or a live band or a live rapper. It's never, because the vibe is there, bro." And the feedback from the crowd to the artist, or the crowd to the DJ, or to whatever, it's always different, and it's always where it's at. And that's I think, and maybe I'm wrong, and I don't think maybe other artists don't feel the same way I do, but the artistry is in the performance, where you making the music and doing all this stuff to perfect it for the performance is the content. You know?
Well, you keep doing what it is that you're doing. You got booking information that you want to give out for people book your
Look me up on Instagram _theotherday_, or hit me up on officialtheotherday@gmail.com, or you can reach out to any of my management team, olivergmg@gmail.com, ivyproductions@gmail.com, and Generator Music Group @gmail.com.
Appreciate you coming through and look.
I appreciate you guys, and hopefully you guys are free soon and can come through to my podcast and we have a great old time.
Yes, sir.
Around.
Yes, sir.
You already know. The other day, Altus Radio, the X-Tremitiez ENT podcast. Because if you ain't here, you ain't nowhere. Because we everywhere. You already know.
We in the house, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna get out. We're gonna close this segment out with a record from Alvin Garrett, and wherever you go on the X-Tremitiez ENT show, IXS Radio. Let's go.
Yeah. Today feels like one of those days. Make you want to say, oh, 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 yeah. Oh. There's no place I'd rather be than cruising through life with you. Don't care where the end may be. No GPS for me and you. So baby, just let your time down and let your hair blow. As long as we're together, then no matter where we go, wherever you are is where I wanna be. Wherever you go, just go there with me. We can ride for a lifetime. Wherever you are is where I wanna be. No looking in the review, no, as we make no memories. No matter what we've been through, it won't ever come between me and you. No, 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 no. Just let your time go, let your hair go. As long as we're together, then no matter where we go, wherever you are, where I wanna be. Yeah. Wherever you just go there, just go there with me. We can ride for a lifetime. Wherever you are is where I wanna be. Yeah. Say we can ride for a lifetime. If you wanna, yeah. We can ride for a lifetime. So baby, if you wanna, baby, if you wanna, wherever you are is where I wanna be. Wherever you go, just go there. Girl, we can ride for a lifetime. Yeah, wherever you are, baby, that's where I wanna be. I just wanna wherever you are, oh baby, is where I wanna be. Nobody else. Wherever you go, just go there with me. Baby, we can ride for a lifetime. Wherever you are, that's where I wanna be. That's where I wanna be.
got my heart immune to no one else but you. You're my vitamin C, a daily dose of you, got my heart immune. You're my vitamin C, daily dose of you, got my heart immune to no one else but you. You're my vitamin C, a daily dose of you, got my heart immune to no one else but you. No one else can compete. Your sweetness, my weakness. Pure cane sugar, but sweet brother, you just do it for me. All of it, I love it. Oh, from your head to your heel. My sweetness. All of it, I love it. Oh, from your head to your heel. My sweetness, my sweetness, just as sweet as can be. Treat me like a queen, I can't help but think this could be the real thing for me. Your sweetness, my weakness, so much flavor, bonafide lover. You give all that I need. All of it, I love it all. From your head to your heel, you know you're such a king, girl. My sweetness. Oh, all of it, I love it all. From your head to your heel, you know you're so sweet, girl. My sweetness. You make me embrace life in whatever form. You make me see bright sides to every storm. You make everything sweet in a world so cool. Needless to say, I think I found gold. My sweetness. So sweetly, you're my vitamin C. No one can compete. My sweetness, oh, my sweetness, oh, my sweetness. All of it, I love it all. You know you're so sweet, so sweetness. Oh, my sweetness. My sweetness. Everything I need.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Extremities ENT show on iAccess Radio. That was Miss Sean Young's Sweetness. And this next record we're going to get into, I actually had the pleasure of actually seeing this lady live, along with the featured artist who happens to be her husband. She's a violinist as well as a singer, very capable musician / artist. She goes by the name Cherie, featuring D Smoke. The song is called Candlelight on Extremities ENT show on iAccess Radio. Let's go.
You got my mind. Call me baby one more time. It's something like a medicine. You're just my type. Got me right where you want me. Right where you want me.
It's not that I don't want you, it's just that I don't need you. If it's temporary, I'm all of a forever thing. It took one conversation and the whole world's spinning now, and we gon' get it right. Under the candlelight with you, oh babe. Even if there's nothing to do, I just wanna be next to you. I just wanna be next to you. Oh, hey, hey, that is it. Your love always keeps me in the mood. I just wanna be next to you. I just wanna be next to you. You stole my heart. Signed your name on every part. Graffiti artist with a metal can. I should have you arrested, criminal. With no permission, you picked up on my subliminals and made a move like you were supposed to do. Now it's me and you, it's me and you. Still not quite sure what brought you in, but boy, now that I got you, I'm gonna make you need me. You better believe me. You hear me? It took one conversation and the whole world spinning now, and we about to get it right under the candlelight. Oh, babe, even if there's nothing to do, I just wanna be next to you. I just wanna be next to you. Oh, that is that always keeps me in the mood. I just wanna be next to you. I just wanna be next to you.
So, hey, once upon a time in this cold world, a nigga fell in love with this cold girl. Was looking for the one, I was smooth like pearl. Nowadays I beat that drum like the blue group. Listen, once upon a time under full moon, cows were mooing, I was dog with the wolf. Now I'm lying, but the kind of tell the truth. And it's all because I got right next to you. Once upon a time in this cold world, nigga fell in love with this cold girl. Was looking for the one, I was smooth like pearl. Nowadays I beat that drum like the blue group. Once upon a time under full moon, cows were mooing, I was dog with the wolf. Now I'm lying, but the kind of tell the truth. And it's all because I got right next to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Extremities ENT show on IXS Radio. That was Sharif featuring D Smoke, Candlelight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The next record we're going to get into is a gentleman who will be performing out here at Sony Hall on the 5th of April, I believe. Gentleman by the name of Kevin Ross, and with his new single, Look My Way, on Extremities ENT show, IXS Radio. Let's go.
Girl, I love to walk by you each day, but you don't even know my name. I'm feeling like a stranger. All this wondering's driving me crazy. Baby, somehow, some way, I'll make you remember me. What do I lose if I don't take my shot? And in seconds that's left on the clock, so I gotta make it look my way. Cause baby, it's a lot of love and it's hard to give. I give it all to you. Gotta make it look my way. Then you'll see everything you want right here with me. Everything you want right here with me. If I happen to walk up on you and tell you that you look so good, would it make you smile, baby? Would it make you smile, baby? I'll be the only one that's making you laugh. And if I miss your call, I hit you right back. Only if you're my baby. Only for my lady. What do I lose if I don't take my shot? And in seconds it's left on the clock, so I gotta make you look my way.
'Cause baby, it's a lot of love and this hard to give. I give it all to you. Gotta make you look my way. Then you'll see everything you want right here with me. Everything you want right here with me. So won't you turn around and see that I'm the one you need to know. Baby, don't you lose what's in front of you. Oh, but I gotta make it look my way. 'Cause baby, it's a lot of love and this hard to give. I give it all to you. Gotta make it look my way. Then you'll see everything you want right here with me. Everything you want right here with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Kevin Ross. Look My Way on the Extremities ENT show on iAccess Radio. This next artist we're going to get into is actually more familiar with him as an actor. Also, shout out to Platinum Delivery on the Sin with this one. This gentleman has been in films like The Preacher's Son, Black Coffee, Dysfunctional Friends, which one of my favorites. Also, he's been in Tyler Perry's movies, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, and Medea Goes to Jail. He goes by the name of Christian Keys, and the song is Under That Veil on Extremities ENT show on iAccess Radio. Let's go.
I wanna see you, I wanna see you, I wanna see you. I wanna see you under that veil. I wanna see you under that veil. Off top, I ain't never met nobody like you before. Oh God, you're the flyest, finest person I know. I've got to lay all my cards on the table for you. I ain't never believed in a love like this, now baby I do. I wanna see you under that veil, baby I do. I wanna live a beautiful life and spend it with you. I live the veil, we both say yeah. All I ever need is you. I wanna see you under that veil. I wanna see you under that veil. I'm off top. I ain't even know I was ready for love. Heart dropped very second that you walked in that door. Thank God, but it's a good thing that I find it in myself. I got what I need, my life's complete. I don't want no one else. I wanna see you under that veil, baby I do. I wanna live a beautiful life with you and spend it with you. Oh yeah, we both say yeah, yeah. All I ever need is you. I wanna see you under that veil, 'cause I just wanna kiss on your baby hair as you lay on my chest. Stop talking about life in the middle of the night. Ooh, that's the best. Take trips, make memories. Disrespect balconies with you. Baby, have kisses. Baby, have kisses. If that's cool, that veil, baby, I do. Baby, I do. For life. And spend it with you, girl. Yeah, all I ever need is you. All I ever need is you. I wanna see you, I wanna see you under that. I wanna see you, I do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Christian Keys, Under That Veil on Extremities ENT show on iAccess Radio.
Before we go anywhere further, you see this hoodie right here? Before we leave tonight, that hoodie is mine. It's a fire hoodie. Look at that.
Yeah, you know I got this from Biggs, right? That's right. Big's doing that.
Yeah, Big Bigs. Yeah, he's down in Georgia now. But yeah, I got this when he was up here. So yeah, shout out to Biggs, to the big homie. All right. The next record we're gonna get into is Jeffrey Dennis featuring Frank McComb. The song is called "Missing You" on Extremities ENT show on IXS Radio. Let's go.
When we're together, baby, it's an unbelievable vibe. You're an alluring love and fragrance. Gets me every time I look at you. Oh, yes, I do. I see you looking too. I see you looking too. It's time to do all the special things that only we do. Hey, I'm missing you, doing what we do. Wishing we could do all the things we love to do. Hey, I'm missing you, doing what we do. Wishing we could do all the things we love to do. The time we spend together is true bliss. There's nothing like the passion of your soft kiss. Yeah, my love, you got me feeling you. Deep inside my mind, impacting my altitude. Hey, I'm missing you, doing what we do. Wishing we could do all the things we love to do. Missing you, doing what we do. Oh yeah, wishing we could do all the things we love to do. Hey, I'm missing you, baby, doing what we do. Oh yeah, wishing we could do all the things we love to do. All the things we love to do. I'm missing you, doing what we do. Wishing we could do all the things we love to do. Girl, when I see you, I'm gonna explore. And I'm gonna feed till I'm on. Gonna show you all the love I've been holding inside. Only expressing just how much I see you. I'm missing you and the things we do, baby. Time flies. Every time we're together, seeing you again, baby, feels like it's gonna be forever. Missing you, I'm missing you, doing what we do, wishing we could do things we love to do. Hey, I'm missing you, doing all the things we do. Girl, I'm gonna love over you, yeah. Doing what we do, better believe I am. You're not the things we love to do. Doing what we do, everything that we do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Jeffrey Dennis featuring Frank McComb, "Missing You" on Extremities ENT show on IXS Radio. Our next single is going to be by a lady by the name of Hatina, and the song is called "Foolish Heart" by way of Platinum Delivery. Shout out to them on Extremities ENT show, IXS Radio. Let's go.
How many times have I heard you say that you'll always love me? Yes, I've heard it, baby. And how many times have you heard me say that you gotta show me? Yes, you do, baby. And how many times have you broke my heart and made me cry? Too many times, yeah. Foolish heart, why don't you go? Why do you stay? Hey, foolish heart, why are you here? Why can't we just walk away? Someone rescue my foolish heart. Too many times push my dreams aside 'cause of your envy and foolish pride. I hope you're happy, baby. By the time I realized what you did to me, my heart was already ripped inside. Yes, it was, baby. And how many times did you push me aside to satisfy your own desires? Yeah. Foolish heart, why don't you go? Why do you stay? Hey, foolish heart, why are you here? Why can't we just walk away? Someone rescue my foolish heart. Rescue me, darling. Rescue me, baby. Rescue me. Can't you see, baby? Rescue me, darling. Rescue me, baby. Can't you see, darling? Rescue me, baby. Yeah. Foolish heart, why don't you go? Why do you stay? Hey, foolish heart, why are you here? Why can't we just walk away? Oh, so rescue my foolish heart. Rescue me. Rescue me. Foolish heart. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. That's Satina, Foolish Heart. And we're going to come up on the last record, Stokely, featuring Snoop Dogg.
You know, that song
Jeopardy.
right there just knocked me off my seat, literally. I loved it.
Right. Verbalize Jeopardy by Stokely and Snoop Dogg on Extremities ENT show, IXS Radio.
You know, baby, I can't understand why you can't express what's on that big, beautiful brain of yours. Check it out. You know what? I need you to verbalize my baby.
I know you got a lot of buttons. Sometimes I just don't know which ones to push. Been said ladies are like an oven, so it may take a little longer to cook. A man just wants to get to eating. See, all he needs is just to sprinkle the seasoning. And what we talking about for drinking? The right amount of fat around the meat. Let's go. What can I do to make it faster? So that I understand the pain in you. I ain't got that kind of apparatus that makes everything I'm looking at see through. Throwing clues way out my range won't make it better. All these games will just delay us and upset us. Spell it out for me. Oh, you know I just can't read your mind. Why you mad? Use your words to see how hard I'm trying. So why this game of Jeopardy tonight? Baby, just verbalize. I'll take what's on this mind of yours. From 1,000 stacks, I bet on that. You need to make it clear for sure. Why this game of Jeopardy tonight? Baby, verbalize my baby. I feel you cut me on the low. You say you're good, but you're really boiling inside. I'm still coming through with positive vibes, though. But you always find a way to say you're dissatisfied. Sometimes you speak another language. Oh, yeah, it's English, but still foreign to me. Forever going through the same shit. To say I should know gives me no clarity. Let's go. What can I do to make it faster? So that I understand the pain in you. I ain't got that kind of apparatus that makes everything I'm looking at see through. Throwing clues way out my range won't make it better. All these games will just delay us and upset us. Spell it out for me. You just can't read your mind. Why you mad? Use your words to see how hard I'm trying. So why this game of Jeopardy tonight? Baby, just verbalize. I'll take what's on this mind of yours. From 1,000 stacks, I bet on that. You need to make it clear for sure. Why this game of Jeopardy tonight? Sweet baby, just verbalize. Do you remember? You see, I can recall when we used to have an issue, we would take our time. If I took a fall, you had such patience, you were gracious, baby, we had a ball. So can we get involved in that again? Oh, you know I just can't read your mind. You can't read it. Why you mad? Use your words. Use them. See how hard you're trying. So why this game of Jeopardy tonight? All these games, baby, just verbalize. I'm on this mind of yours. For 1,000 stacks, I bet on that. You need to make it clear for sure. Why this game of Jeopardy tonight?
Communication, baby.
What you gonna say?
You gotta say what's on your mind. I can't read your mind. You gotta say it. Look to me, you talk to me, I talk back. You gonna say what you gonna say, what? Look, man, like I said, you talk to me, I talk back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Stokely featuring Snoop Dogg, Verbalize on Extremities ENT show, I Access Radio.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to remind you that Extremities ENT will be hosting, along with the dance parade, emceeing on the main stage this year, May 20th.
Yes.
From 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Tompkins Square Park. The 20th, 520. Yeah, that's Saturday. And then June 17th, we have the Fish Parade over here at Leggett or Lafayette over here in Bruckner, Waterbury Park. So we have two great events. And between that, We also have another event coming up where Extremities ENT was asked to actually MC Muse Arts float for the National Puerto Rican Day Parade as well.
Right, right.
So, that's another gig we got. And then we have another one on May 6th, which is a birthday party up in Middletown, New York. Extremities ENT is going to be on scene there from 2 to 8 as well. So we got a few things going on for the community as well as private events. If you ever want to get in contact with us, you can contact Davon Franklin at
DAYRF at 13@gmail.com.
Say that one more time.
DAY as in Yankee, R as in radio, F as in Frank, 13@gmail.com.
Or you could just go to RamboBX180 at yahoo.com or extremitiesent@gmail.com, as well as iaccessradio.com. If you like to inquire on being on any of the radio shows that we have here, we have a great family. Each and every show caters to your needs, whether it's all about intellectual or down to getting down to the hood. We got you everything in between. We have great personalities here. We have people that actually specialize in certain fields, so you may be impressed by what you encounter. All the way from the head CEO, Al Williams himself, all the way down to the engineers here. We are all a big family for the community of the Bronx, the South Bronx, worldwide. So, I'm honored to be here each and every Wednesday with my co-host, the D for D, and I'm the J for Jose, on the airwaves each and every Wednesday, Extremities ENT podcast. Davon Franklin,
Jose Rivera.
If I learned something more today than I did yesterday, it wasn't a day wasted in life.
Live, love life. Take care of each other, people.
Sunshine kisses. Can't believe I'm standing here like the first time we met. Such a chemistry, you and me. Oh, forever. I love the way you touch me. And I love you to the end of time. Mesmerized by your kisses, sweet kisses, sunshine kisses. As your warmth, it touches my face, sunshine kisses. But tonight's gonna be amazing, sunshine kisses. Sunshine kisses, sunshine kisses, to moonlight wishes is what it's gonna be. Ooh, sunshine kisses, to moonlight wishes, sunshine kisses. You know what I love, baby, and you know it makes me smile. Yes, you do. Hold me tight, hold me close. Baby, I'm about to lose control. Feeling like you do, I can't contain myself. Once again, ooh, let's stop pretending and do what lovers do. Give me some of them. As your warmth, it touches my face, sunshine kisses. But tonight's gonna be amazing, sunshine kisses. Sunshine kisses, sunshine kisses, to moonlight wishes is what it's gonna be. Ooh, sunshine kisses, to moonlight wishes, sunshine kisses. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ooh, hey. hey, oh, hey, oh, ooh. As your warmth, it touches my face, sunshine kisses, give me some of them. But tonight's gonna be amazing. Sunshine kisses. Oh, sunshine kisses, sunshine kisses, to moonlight kisses, what it's gonna be. Ooh, sunshine kisses, to moonlight kisses, sunshine, sunshine kisses.